I thought that the administration did a terrific job in front of the Supreme Court. They could not have argued this case better, in my view. But you can't really escape that language. And right out of the bat, when that oral argument began, the Chief Justice John Roberts said, this is a tax. And you could almost hear the administration gulping because that's not what they wanted the justices to take from their argument.
Law professor Jonathan Turley from the George Washington University School of Law on Fox News a short time ago. I've got to say one of the things that really raised an eyebrow here was the fact that the court said that the money collected under these tariffs, $175 billion, must be refunded. Refunded. President Trump was quite pleased with the $175 billion and I think more collected under the tariffs. And now the Supreme Court said, well, listen, you need the approval of Congress to impose a tax. The president cannot unilaterally impose a tax, the Supreme Court ruled. And Chuck Schumer is out there lying already because that's who he is, and he's a liar. He's a Democrat. And Chuck Schumer, shouting, they just Trump derangement syndrome up the yin-yang. Oh, yeah, Trump's Iliad, that says Chuck Schumer on Twitter, a victory for the wallets of every American consumer. This is one of the lies that they've ginned up, is that tariffs are an automatic tax on all of us. But it's not, of course, because it levels the playing field in myriad ways. And tariffs have been used this way for generations, for a very long time. But Chuck Schumer says of the Supreme Court ruling, and that means it's a bad thing, a victory for the wallets of every American consumer. It was actually making our wallets better, more secure with the tariffs. But so it's the opposite of the truth by Chuck Schumer. And he says, Trump's illegal tariff tax just collapsed. He tried to govern by decree and stick families with the bill, actually making things less expensive. And never mind that. Enough chaos. End the trade war. You guys should stop shooting people. How about that? That'd be a good thing. And he posted the NBC fake news headline, Supreme Court strikes down most of Trump's tariffs in a major blow to the president. And that's where Chuck Schumer comes in, right? And now, refund. I've got to say, when I saw that there's a refund, it reminded me of a little remembered scene in a movie called Breaking Away.
All I want is a refund. Refund? Refund? Are you crazy? Refund? Refund?
You'll get no refund. And I'm sure President Trump will take issue with this, and that this fight is not over. And, maybe the Democrats, they want to defund ICE. Some of them want to defund the Department of Homeland Security and roll up the government. It's kind of ironic that they grow government at every possible turn, unless Republicans want to shrink government, then they're these people. They're mental. They want to defund ICE, defund the Department of Homeland Security, defund the local police. They want more crime. Let's face it. And speaking of more crime, here we go. This is pretty wild. And we didn't get to the guy whose office was shot up yesterday. Did we get to him yesterday? But a Republican running for elected office, and his home was shot up by at least one gunman because he announced he's running as a Republican. So the Democrat Party, the lynch mob, is coming together again. But with that said, shot up, and I think it looked like it was 12-gauge shotgun with slugs blasting up his car. His kids are inside. His wife is inside. The Democrat, that was in North Carolina. South Carolina? North Carolina. And here's today's Democrat story. Stolen ambulance. They love stealing things, and it's an ambulance. They can steal an ambulance. They're like Hamas. They're like Hamas. Stolen ambulance allegedly driven into Idaho DHS office building in an attempted arson attack. An attempted arson attack. Now, isn't that crazy? What is this now? What did the Democrats do this time? Fox News has the story, and the Washington Post does not. Stolen ambulance allegedly driven into Idaho DHS, Department of Homeland Security office building, in attempted arson attack. Meridian Police Chief Tracy Bastireccia said the suspect staged accelerant, that'd be like gasoline, in vegetation before driving emergency vehicle into DHS building to cause chain reaction explosions and all that. The police chief was out there of Meridian. State and federal authorities are investigating after a suspect allegedly stole an ambulance, loaded up staged gasoline cans, and plowed the emergency vehicle into a Department of Homeland Security office in Idaho. Idaho? In what investigators believe was an attempted arson attack. Nothing gets by them, I'll tell you that much. Just after 11 p.m. on Wednesday, night before last, an ambulance was stolen from a bay at St. Luke's West Hospital. The suspect, who has not yet been identified, drove the ambulance through the parking lot and retrieved gas cans that were staged in nearby vegetation. That'd be like the bushes, nearby vegetation, according to Meridian Police Chief Tracy Bastireccia. And the suspect then drove the ambulance directly into the North Portico building, which houses Department of Homeland Security offices, the police chief said. Sure, and why not? Investigators believe the suspect poured an accelerant inside and around the outside of the ambulance. However, the suspect was unable to ignite the accelerant before being scared off by responding agencies, according to the police chief. Now, I've got to say, he was not dedicated enough, because a dedicated Democrat would have self-immolated and he wouldn't run away. He'd blow himself up like the Democrat at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas did with the Cybertruck, because he's dead now because he blew himself up with his own bomb in a rented Elon Musk Cybertruck. And he now he's dead. He hated Elon Musk and he hated Donald Trump, so he went to the Trump Hotel in an Elon Musk vehicle and blew himself up with bombs that he built inside the vehicle. But the vehicle's so well built that it contained the explosion inside the vehicle and just blew him to pieces and didn't blow up the whole Trump Hotel as he had hoped. Now, the suspect was unable to ignite the accelerant before being scared off, according to responding officers. We want to emphasize that this was a serious criminal act. I'd say it's a terrorist act. The theft and destruction of an emergency vehicle not only created a risk to responding personnel, also temporarily removed a critical medical resource from the community. I don't think that was necessarily the number one thing. It's the suicide attack and the blowing up, the attacking the federal government. This is another insurrection by another Democrat. They've all got insurrection issues, don't they? They should get that pill. He added, there has been a lot of rhetoric surrounding the Department of Homeland Security leasing office space at this location. So who knew they had Democrats in Idaho? This should be one less Democrat, one fewer Democrat. Comments on social media such as property damage isn't violence is absolutely false, the police chief said. Democrats say, just blowing up buildings with truck bombs of stolen ambulances, but never mind that. This was absolutely an act of violence. It was an act of terrorism, too. And if the suspect had not been interrupted, there is no doubt this building would have been burned, putting the lives of first responders and others at risk, obviously. So we got that. Also, ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, they responded out of Seattle. ATF special agents responded to Meridian, Idaho, where they're on scene assisting Meridian Police Department after a suspect crashed an ambulance into a building where Department of Homeland Security.gov is leasing space. It's only leased. Come on. Please direct all media inquiries to the Meridian Police Department. They don't want to answer your questions. But this is what the Democrats do. Democrats. And this ICE, it's the anti-ICE rhetoric and all that good, crazy stuff because they're nuts. And let's go to more Washington, D.C. local news from yesterday. Here's that line from a local news outlet. Woodbridge, Virginia, a suburb of Washington, Woodbridge students suspended after anti-ICE walkout. County-wide protest planned. It's time to bring in helicopter gunships and maybe AC-130 gunships. Lay lazy circles around these protests. Prince William County school officials have so far suspended 303 Woodbridge High School students. 303 have been suspended after they left school property during a student-led ICE walkout last week. These suspensions come as student organizers across the county are planning another walkout on Friday. That's today. You're expelled from school. No more suspensions. You're expelled. Your parents going to have to send you to private schools now, or you're just going to have to go to prison. One or the other. On February 12th, students at Woodbridge and Forest Park High Schools and Gainesville Middle School, they have 6th grade there or just 7th and 8th grade. Children are being brainwashed and indoctrinated by the left, who are turning them into criminals who are mentally ill, many of whom will self-immolate before they're done. So the middle school, they conducted the walkout with hundreds of Woodbridge students leaving campus and flooding Old Bridge Road and nearby shopping center, probably to get pizza. As of Wednesday, 303 Woodbridge students had received suspensions, with more anticipated. Prince William County School spokesperson Diana Gulata said that 303 suspended, but expect more. No suspensions were given for students at Forest Park or Gainesville Middle School who stayed on campus. Isn't that great? Mackie L. Phillips, senior at Prince William Public Schools, student senator representing Unity Read Students Against Fascism. What's the acronym on that? Let me see. URSA. They're against fascism and Jews. They're against two things. No sense of irony. They're against fascism and they're against Jews. Kind of crazy, isn't it? I got to tell you, going down to do my other job much later in the day, down to 14th Street, a couple blocks from the White House, and the Willard Hotel is there. And there are a lot of foreign dignitaries in Washington, D.C., meeting with President Trump and the White House and the State Department over a lot of things, including the Israeli foreign minister, and staying at a hotel down near Newsmax. And the Democrats have been shutting down traffic all day, every day on 14th Street, White House 16th Street, and the Treasury Department 15th Street. And the Democrat mobs of anti-Semites are down there calling people fascists, while they're the most anti-Jewish mob of violent criminals that we've seen in the United States in modern times. And no sense of irony, calling people fascists while protesting against the existence of Israel, chanting from the river to the sea. In fact, I think, did we have some audio of these lunatics, didn't we? And they were protesting. President Trump held the Peace Summit. Yeah, the Board of Peace. It was the first meeting of the Board of Peace, and lots of leaders from around the world. Board of Peace, and the president was on fire. He was being funny. It was great, the Board of Peace. And the violent mob of criminals outside, the real fascists, the real Nazis, who are, again, just trying to interrupt the Israeli foreign minister, his motorcade. I got stopped by the vice president's motorcade yesterday on the way down to Newsmax. I shot video of it, actually. I shot a video of the It was raining, and my camera kept focusing on the rain hitting the windshield. But that's not important now. They're protesting against the Jews and Israel and any Israeli and get out of my country, and because they're fascists. See, the Democrats, keeping in mind that the fascists, that's Adolf Hitler's Nazi party, they called themselves the National Socialist German Workers' Party, and that means they were the Socialist Workers' Party of Germany. So they called themselves socialists, and they called themselves the Socialist Workers' Party, and then they tried to kill every Jew on earth. Now the people that vote for Bernie Sanders and AOC, who call themselves socialists, by the way, they, just like Hitler did, now even their Jews are anti-Semites like Bernie Sanders, but crazy, crazy stuff. And the walkout, they're anti-ICE, so all the students get suspended. Expel them. If they're going to walk out again today, expel them. Whatever student leaves campus, whatever the rule is, you're expelled. Sorry, you have to go to juvenile detention for the next 3 years, where you'll get a nice education. You'll learn a lot, I think. Isn't that great? But, anyway, I still haven't played it. I'm still going to have to play the Lunatics protesting peace. They're against peace. They're against Israel. Trump derangement syndrome is really something. The Democrats have created all of this. The Democrat Party has. I'm beginning to think they're not on our side.
He really seems to care. About what, I have no idea.
So the violent mob of anti-Semites running around calling everybody Nazis without any sense of irony. President Trump yesterday had the Board of Peace meeting. 9 members agreed to pledge combined $7 billion. President Trump then agreed to put in $10 billion of our money. And it's all going to go to the terrorists, I think, to Hamas and stuff. But the violent mob, they showed up outside the Board of Peace gathering with world leaders from all over the globe to chant like this. They don't want peace. U.S. out of Palestine.
Board of Peace, Board of Lies. U.S. out of Palestine.
Board of Peace, Board of Lies. Where they get these white women? These crazy white women. What's the matter with these people? But they're there. They're against peace. They're for what they call Palestine. That means you're for radical Islamic jihad, wiping Israel off the face of the earth. They're shutting down 14th Street, causing no end of havoc and traffic in Washington, D.C. The Democrat Party should be wearing armbands. You know, the Democrats love illegal aliens, and they love it when illegal aliens kill Americans. It's one of their favorite things. We had another illegal alien with another commercial driver's license kill another American, crashing the illegal alien truck into an American. And, you know, you kill people that way. And the Democrats say, hey, come on. We're open-minded. More Democrats, more murder, more Democrats, more death, more mayhem, more rape, more gang members, more crazy, crazy stuff because Democrats. And I was reminded, Tom Homan was out there talking about it today, but it reminded me of the story. I went and grabbed it from February 5th. So it's February 20th now. So 15 days ago. 4 dead. 4 dead. It's like 4 dead in Ohio. They're still singing about that. But these 4 dead, the Democrats don't care about at all. 4 dead in Indiana as illegal immigrant semi-truck, right, sure, plows into an Amish van in Indiana. And the illegal alien from Kyrgyzstan, which does not border the United States to the south, But the Democrats waved millions and millions of illegal aliens into the country with no driving skills, no English skills, no math skills, no historical understanding, no cultural background that is Western or American, God forbid. 4 people are dead after an illegal immigrant operating a semi-truck drove into an oncoming traffic in Indiana, garnering sharp rebuke from the White House over the Biden-era CBP-1 app. It's the Customs Border Protection 1, and the Democrats set up an app so illegal aliens could get into the country and kill Americans because Democrat policies have consequences. Elections have consequences. Now, the guy's name, Bekjan Bishakiv, an illegal immigrant from Kyrgyzstan, failed to brake at all while driving on an Indiana highway when a semi-truck right in front of him slowed down. And Bekshakiev, who was issued a commercial driver's license by Pennsylvania and the Democrat governor there, Josh Shapiro, last July, he swerved because an 18-wheeler slowed down in front of him. So he didn't slow down. He didn't tap his brakes. He just swerved into oncoming traffic and head-on with a van carrying 15 people from the Amish community, and he killed 4 of them. And now the illegal alien taken into custody because it's 4 counts of vehicular manslaughter, and he killed 4 people, Amish family people, right? And then another one, a new illegal alien driving a truck and with another commercial driver's license, killing more Americans. And our border guy, Tom Homan, our border czar, Tom Homan was asked about it this morning on the Fox News.
We're going to be dealing with the Biden open border for decades. I mean, this is why we're out in full force in sanctuary cities. We got over 10 million illegal aliens that were released in this country without proper vetting.
Yeah, more than 10 million illegal aliens released into the country without proper vetting from Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan and China, thousands and thousands from China, and the illegal aliens killing people all over the place. And the Democrats say, hey, let's give them a driver's license for 18-wheelers. They can't pass the exam. They can't drive the vehicle. They don't speak the language. But what's the worst that could happen? Well, maybe, you're going to kill 4 Amish people in a van in a head-on collision in Indiana. And the blood is on the Democrat Party's hands, on Joe Biden's hands. It's and they're fine with that. But now we've got another one because Democrats. And there's Tom Homan saying, hey, we're going to be dealing with this for years and years because the Democrats waved in, he said, more than 10 million, likely more than 12 or 14 million. And the latest story is another Indian this time, illegal immigrant truck driver accused of killing Indiana man after running red light. Sure. And it's Singh Sukhdeep was released into the U.S. as a minor in 2018, and he got his commercial driver's license in 2025. And then he killed a guy because the truck driver arrested Wednesday for allegedly running a red light, causing a fatal crash in Indiana, is an illegal alien from India. Multiple federal law enforcement sources confirmed to Fox News. Singh Sukhdeep received his commercial driver's license in May of 2025. He was caught crossing the U.S. border in 2018, but released because we're so good at all this, right? He was a minor at the time of the crossing. Sukhdeep is now in ICE custody, and that's good. So we get another one in Indiana. I guess Indiana's getting more than their share of Democrat Party war crimes. Just extraordinary stuff. Yeah, and where are the Democrats on this? No, they don't care. They really don't care. Speaking of radical Democrats who lie about everything all the time, in Virginia, they elected a Democrat who ran as a moderate and immediately became a radical leftist. Raise my taxes and raise my this and raise the cost of everything. And I gotta I've got to say, the Democrats there, because the press works for them, the Democrats lie about everything. Like, for example, Abigail Spamberger, known more popularly as Abigail Scamberger, because she's a scamburger. She's a scamburger is what she is. And so we have that. But the Democrats tapped Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger for the State of the Union response. You know, the Republican president, Donald John Trump, will issue the State of the Union. I hope, and there are these talks about Democrats boycotting the State of the Union. I think they should. That would be a civilized event, the kind that you might see in Western civilization, even in the United States of America. But with the fatuous, cross-dressing, mentally ill, blood-soaked Democrat Party in the chamber for the State of the Union, they turn it into a political clown car because that's who they are. They're not on Team America. They're on Team Lunatic, Team Democrat. And now Abigail Spanberger, who is just, she came in and said, we're going to raise taxes on everything. They're going to be a special tax on getting your nails done at a salon. There's going to be a new gas tax. There's going to be new property tax. Going to increase taxes on your car. They already tax your car in Virginia as property. And she's going to find new ways to milk everybody, wring more money out of everybody. And now Virginia Governor Scabigail Scramberger has been tapped. So, but pause there for a second. To give the Democratic response next week to President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, party leaders said,
"Well, raise my rent."
Well, raise my rent. Scamberger was announced as the Democrat speaker on Thursday, yesterday, in a joint statement from the Senate Minority Leader Chuck the Lizard King Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem the Anti-Semite Jeffries. The Democrat Party should be wearing uniforms and armbands at this point. So the idiots, the Schumer, said Governor Spanberger has always put service over politics. That's a flagrant lie by the Lizard King, who is a scaly reptilian. Oh, speaking of scaly reptilians, we've got, but Scamberger's out there. And she took office as governor and has installed a bunch of left-wing radical lunatics who have socialist policies, the likes of which you might expect from New York City Mayor, another anti-Semite, pro-terrorist, pro-radical, socialist. The Democrat Party is not an American party. At least it's not recognizable as an American party. Pretty amazing stuff. But I did just mention we got aliens, and then we have aliens. Because I want to go this Barack Hussein Obama. He, speaking of anti-Semites, and the Jeremiah Wright, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright of the Trinity United Church of Christ, who famously when Barack Obama was elected, and he presided over their wedding with Big Mike and Barack Hussein, and presided over the baptisms of the two kids. One has an African name, one has a Muslim name. They're not American names. And the Jeremiah Wright, and then asked, hey, Jeremiah Wright, are you going to be meeting with Barack Obama now that he's president?
Have you spoken with him since he's been in the White House?
You ain't going to let him talk to me.
You know them Jews ain't going to let him talk to me. The simmering anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party has been evident for quite some time. If we only had a news media that noticed that sort of thing. And speaking of the anti-Semites, let's go to Barack Hussein Obama, because he did this podcast. We played an audio soundbite from it a couple of days ago with a guy named Brian Tyler Cohen. Men don't have three names. What are you, a transgender crossdresser? What's with that? Honestly, you could be a future sniper. He's probably James Earl Ray and Lee Harvey Oswald and Brian Tyler Cohen. Is that what you're thinking, Mike? Yeah, that's the thing. And so he is. And Barack Obama is being fluffed in this hot oil massage of a fake interview on a podcast. And here's Barack Obama. He's like, hey, are there space aliens out there? You were president of the United States for 8 years. What's up with all the space alien stuff? Have you seen that movie Independence Day? And it sounded like this.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in.
They're real.
What is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground
Studio 54
facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens? They just have tiny little brains, squirrel brains that don't work very well at all. But there he is. Had he said, now, when he was asked at the beginning, are aliens real? And he began with, they're real. All right? But I haven't seen them. Well, then, and the idiot, the art of the follow-up question is long since dead. But I would have asked the follow-up, well, when you say they're real, what does that mean to the United States government? You were president of the United States. As you know, you're not a religious figure except to the Democrat Party, who think you can slow the rise of the oceans and heal the planet, which, the opposite happened. But never mind that. Most divisive, racially polarizing president since the Democrats shot Abraham Lincoln and put their boy Andrew Johnson in place. But never mind that. So that was Barack Obama. They're real, he said, and then as a result, aboard Air Force One, President Trump was asked by Peter Doocy of Fox News. He said, hey, Obama said that aliens are real. So what is up with that? And it sounded like this.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals.
President Trump, and it was kind of a fun moment aboard the airplane yesterday. And, hey, Obama just said aliens are real, and President Trump really didn't give a straight answer at all on the thing. But he said... But he's giving away classified. It sounds like he's confirming. The New York Times would consider that big confirmation from their 24th source. But never mind that. Now, after that, President Trump got on Truth Social, which he created because the communists banned him from Twitter before it was bought by a pro-American person, as the Democrats controlled it and owned it, and they destroy free speech every chance they get. But President Trump went on Truth Social. And he said after that exchange about the aliens, and President Trump wrote, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. Unidentified aerial phenomenon, which we now call UAPs. I don't, but the government does. Unidentified aerial phenomenon and unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America, in all caps. So the president now promising, I hope it's not like the Epstein files, but promising that he will, and he said, we'll declassify it. We'll see. The Department of War, the Pentagon, and other relevant departments and agencies, CIA and NSA and geospatial and all of this, start releasing all information, right? Releasing government files, after they're identified, of course, of extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, unidentified flying objects, any other information connected to these. But what about Studio 54? Oh, I'm sorry, that's a nightclub in New York. I think we're talking about Area 51, also known as a facility near Groom Lake. I happen to know because of my past. That's the way that it's known in the government, where the space aliens are kept and all that, Independence Day. A facility near Groom Lake.
You know, I always feel like if aliens ever really exist and they come and attack us, it's going to be because we destroyed the planet. That'll be our punishment, right?
More Democrats, more death. Let's face it. That's crazy. Here's one for you. The Democrats in New Jersey have introduced a bill in the General Assembly. Democrats have, and this is great stuff. New bill introduced today. New Jersey Assembly members Katie Brennan and Ravi Bala. With an only in New Jersey style. Here's the thing. They've established a new bill. It's Bill A4446. And it establishes you got to follow along with the acronym. Fight unlawful conduct and keep individuals, see, that's you following along so far. Fight unlawful conduct and keep individuals and communities empowered act. Now, wait a minute. What's going on with that? Because the people, it permits civil action for violations of the U.S. Constitution related to immigration enforcement. But it's immigration. It's an anti-ICE bill. But the acronym, you see, that they've built to make their little words, they like the F word and all that stuff. But it is... when you boil it down, it's an F, fight, unlawful, U and the C, and so you got that. And so that then it spells out in the end, it spells out beep Trump. Beep ICE. Beep ICE. You have to beep ICE because it's fight unlawful conduct and keep individuals and communities empowered. So it's... Well, I don't even want to spell it out loud, but I think you get the thrust. The Democrats have introduced this bill. Beep ICE is the acronym for the bill. They're like an invading army from North Korea. They have no American values. They have no Western values. They're an uncivilized party. They're a violent party. Have a great American weekend.